It's winter in the Northeast. Residents are attempting to dig out of the snow in Buffalo, but that's a big job considering they got 5 feet of snow last night. The blizzard trapped more than 100 people in their cars on closed interstates and claimed the lives of at least 2 people in the last 24 hours.
And as of right now, the death toll stands at 6. We don't often hear about this much snow falling all at once, but there is actually a bit of weather science that goes into it.
Erin Christiansen is here to explain why geography plays a major role.
Well, guys, we don't hear about lake effect snow a whole lot here in Arizona, do we? But they're no stranger to it around the Great Lakes, and they've had these conditions. These lake effect snows can dump snow for hours and hours and hours as long as all the variables stay fairly constant. You got to have that warm water with the relatively cold air on top of it, and it really just creates an unstable atmosphere, so you get a line of thunderstorms developing right along the waterfront. When you have that much water in those clouds and then it's forced up onto land and into the colder levels of the atmosphere, that water all turns to snow and can just dump snow all in one place for hours at a time. But the amount of water in that snow is dependent upon the temperature. So Buffalo, for instance, has been right around 28 degrees today. And when you consider some places have had 5 to 6 feet of snow, let's just call it 70 inches worth, at 28 degrees, that's about 7 inches of water if you were to melt it down. And I know it doesn't sound like much, but when you multiply that across the miles of this sort of heavy snowfall, that sets the stage for flooding. And we'll talk about that in a bit. In the meantime, they are bracing for round 2, another 2 feet of snow possible on top of the 5 feet they've already had in places like Buffalo. But by the weekend, huge warm up in temps, anywhere from 50 to 60 degrees, and that means flooding concerns. I'll let you know why we're expecting some pretty wild weather for our Wildcat game in Salt Lake City as well, coming up.